Hey everyone, so I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the song Redneck Woman and a little bit about how Redneck Woman has kind of created itself into a, for lack of a better word, Redneck Woman feminist anthem. So beginning with some background on the song, it was an original song written and performed by Gretchen Wilson, and that was released on March 24th of 2004. It was able to reach #1 on the country Billboard charts and number 22 on the Hot 100. It won the Grammy for Best Country Female Performance, and just if you've never heard it before, I should have played it, I'm sorry. But it's just a super catchy earworm. It gets stuck in your head, and I'm not generally a fan of country music, but when my friend played this for me, I just could not stop singing it. So about the Redneck Woman. The song itself is a gender-inclusive statement about redneck pride, and you can read a little bit more about that on the slide. But what this means is, at this time, there wasn't much representation for the white working class woman, for the working class white woman, per se. She was somebody that was definitely ignored. It was, redneck was generally a term that was associated with men, so especially with comedians at the time, like Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy, who even had a sketch called, if you are a redneck, if you insert blank thing here, you must be a redneck. But as a response to this, because Redneck Woman was finally a rallying cry to white working class women in general, especially at the part where she says, so here's to all my sisters, always keeping it country, let me get it big hell yeah for all the redneck girls like me. It just gathered audiences from everywhere for some reason. It was just such a rallying cry for so many people, and so many people related to the song on so many different levels. So the effect of Redneck Woman, it was the creation of this virile female. So in the video and in the lyrics, Gretchen Wilson is describing herself as a boys kind of girl, where she's in the video she's riding ATVs and she's messing around. In the lyrics she says that she's not the kind of girl to drink that sweet wine. It's too much for her. She'd rather drink beer. This is kind of a representation that shows women as stronger. And you can kind of see this image take further place in country stars such as Carrie Underwood in the song Before He Cheats and Miranda Lambert's Gunpowder and Lead. Furthermore, on the effects of the Redneck Woman, this is a woman who is not like the bourgeois, prissy girls that you know. It exists as a function of class distinction. So she also goes very in detail into describing herself as different, and she struggles differently than women who of the middle class and the upper middle class and of the upper class. She goes that she doesn't need any of the Victoria's Secret clothing. She can buy all of that lingerie at Walmart and still feel good about herself, and she doesn't need to drink fancy champagne. She grew up on these strong country, songs, and this is who she is as a person. And so what this does is then creates kind of a feminist message, essentially. So the view of intersectional feminism is that there's something that not only affects women, but women of the working class, women of different abilities and ethnicities, different races, and it's hard to say that Redneck Woman is able to appeal to all of those, but it definitely appeals to a white working class female. We were able to apprehend her situation as concurrently working class and female, and it is important to recognize that at this time it was something that had been largely ignored. White working class women in general are largely ignored. We were always at that time, women had to be very respectable, and they had to be very feminine in with the way they presented themselves, and Gretchen Wilson kind of turned that on its head, and especially for the term, taking back the term redneck, which is something that's usually seen as, I want to say derogatory, but not so much. So she took pride in that and showed that these working class women that they are able to present themselves in media and that they are worthwhile. And here is essentially the source that we used to help me find all of this. Alright, thank you.